On this week's episode of Today I Would Like to Share
My favorite book ever.
hilarious things people actually believed as kids.
High stakes Hollywood.
Hello and welcome to Today I Would Like to Share, where we take the time out of our quarantine lives to share the things important to us. My name is Jordan, and with me today I have the most gullible man in the world, Kyle.
Yeah, one time a man convinced me that this crown he had was actually Queen Elizabeth II's crown, and I bought it off him for like $2,000, but it ended up just being a Burger King paper crown, so that was rough.
Yeah, the jewels, I mean, they look pretty realistic on this.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'm sorry for your loss. And a man who practices astral projection every night before bed, Andrew.
Look, somebody's got to tuck you guys in, and so I'm just checking on you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Appreciate
I really
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So,
Do
how
you like
is...
watch over us as we sleep too? Because like I'm convinced there's a monster under my bed.
Yeah,
But
that's
every time
me.
I tell my girlfriend to look, she says there's nothing.
Well, I'm pretty quick with shutting my 3DS, but usually it's the light from my 3DS, so you're sensing.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That reminds me of God damn it. There is a game that I had on just Nintendo DS, the normal one, or the first one that came out.
Yeah.
And it was the most ridiculous game, and it's impossible to find because it was one of those just like weird developers that put out weird stuff. But it was a game where you're a nature spirit, and it was a lot like Pikmin, where you entered a level, and then there was a whole bunch of like machines and smog monsters that you would have to fight with little squirrels that you would grow out of the ground, and so you had to like work your way through the map and defeat like the boss of that level. But it was the craziest thing. There was a whole bunch of different kinds of squirrels that did different things. It was bananas, and I'm so sad that I can't find out what that game was called, but it was like the coolest thing ever. Unique. It was the most unique thing ever.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a good use of squirrels. You don't see squirrels utilized in video games very often, to be honest.
Especially as a force of good. Usually if they're in there, they're annoying as shit.
I don't know why, but that description of that game and your excitement for it reminded me of the first time I ever played Ape Escape.
Dude, Ape Escape's
Yeah.
a great game.
That was a shit when it first came out. First game to use joysticks, too.
Yeah, dual
really?
analog. Dual
Yeah.
analog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you ever think back to the first time you did something and remember how much you enjoyed it, but you can't but if you went and played it now, it'd be stupid, right?
Yeah.
Or you just can't view things with the same eyes as you did before, but you can remember viewing them for the first time. I remember when I first played the demo for Guild Wars 2, and just remember thinking it was the most beautiful thing, and I can remember what I saw, but if I go back there and go to the same area with the same character and do the same stuff, it's just dull now.
Yeah,
But
Guild Wars 2, first time playing that was pretty awesome.
yeah.
The
very great.
leveling up experience for all the starting areas is really awesome.
Yeah. There was a lot of cool stuff in that game, for sure. But yeah.
I feel
Anyway.
like I've had that experience for basically any MMO RPG that I've played that I actually
Yeah, they always
enjoyed.
hook you at the beginning pretty well.
Yeah, the first 10 levels are always so much fun, and then the rest of
Yeah.
it's like, wait, this is more repetitive and less rewarding than Animal Crossing. I think I'm just going to go play Animal Crossing.
Well, what about you guys remember the guy that didn't pick a side in WoW and he just leveled his panda up by picking
Yeah,
flowers?
the neutral
They get max
panda.
level.
yeah.
Herbalism and mining for
Yeah.
forever. Yeah, that sounds
awesome.
brutal, to be honest. Anyway,
I think
anybody have a
alternate-
topic today?
Oh, yeah, actually, I do.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's weird how we brought topics. I thought we were just going to talk about video games the entire time.
I mean, it's normally what we do. Got
That's our new show starting next week.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so today I would like to share my favorite book ever. Definitely a recommendation for everybody if you haven't read it before. But anybody want to guess what my favorite book is?
I feel like I know this one.
You probably do. I talk about it excessively.
Yeah. Yep. It's Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Absolutely, dude. I just can't get enough of that big red ass dog.
Damn, I was thinking of One Fish, Two Fish.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh no, fuck that book, dude. I hate it. I remember when I was a kid, my mom was reading me that book, and she got to wait, no, sorry, that's a different one. This was Osei Can You See? Or say Osei Can You Say? But she just got to a page and went, oh god, and then stopped reading it to me. But anyway, my favorite book of all time is The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep.
Douglas
I
Adams
knew that.
is one of
I
the
just didn't want to
best
spoil it.
authors of all time. Just hilarious in a way that I don't want to say is unprecedented or unmatched, but definitely up there with one of the best comedy writers of all time. And I've been thinking a lot about this today, about why I think it's so funny and why I like it so much. And one of the reasons is because it's incredibly simple. And I don't mean like he's a dumb author. That's obviously not what I mean. But it's so broken down. It's so like reductive in a way that is interesting and actually informative and easy to digest, that it got like all the jokes just hit you like a ton of bricks. Like they're so often just subverting expectations in a way that catches you off guard and makes it so enjoyable. Have you guys read any of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy books?
I have not.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, cool. Have you seen the movie?
Nope.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, cool. No, that's great. Because I've definitely put that on your list. At least the first book is definitely worth a read. Don't try to marathon all 5 because that's rough. Every time I try to do that, I end up in the 4th book and just like, okay, I'm done for now. But I have some quotes here that kind of illustrate why I like it so much. And the first one is, the ships hung in the sky in much the same way that bricks don't. And it, man, I love it so much because, again, like I was saying, it subverts your expectations. You're expecting some nice imagery of birds or maybe a hummingbird, but no, you contrast it to a brick, which is just fun. See here. Said Arthur, it's at times like this, when I'm trapped in a Vogon airlock with a man from Beetlejuice and about to die of asphyxiation in deep space, that I really wish I'd listened to what my mother told me when I was young. Why? What'd she tell you? I don't know. I didn't listen. Ugh.
That's great.
Let me get one more in here. Oh, yeah. Make it totally clear that this gun has a right end and a wrong end. Make it totally clear to anyone standing at the wrong end that things are going very badly for them. If that means sticking out all sorts of spikes and prongs and blackened bits all over it, then so be it. This is not a gun for hanging over the fireplace or sticking in the umbrella stand. It is a gun for going out and making people miserable. I just love those quotes. They're man, the writing's so good, and I enjoy them so much. Even the movie was okay.
Even the movie was okay.
It was definitely okay. I just like the guy who plays Arthur Dent. I think he's a fun actor. But Jordan, which ones have you read?
I think I've read the first 3.
First 3, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um,
First one's definitely the best one, but
yeah, it's so good, and like each book, it follows 5 characters, and it kind of makes it what makes it really good. What makes it really bad is because putting those characters in different situations and seeing how they act. Arthur, the straight man from Earth; Ford Prefect, the crazy hitchhiking alien who's seen everything; Zavad Beeblebrox, who's the president of the universe; and then Trillian, who's another human from Earth who left with Zavad Beeblebrox to go explore the galaxy; and then Marvin, the depressed robot. There's just so many things about it that really are catchy and pull you in. Marvin the Depressed Robot was an experimental personality robot who has like all the intelligence in the world. Just seeing him like interact with everything is really funny. There's this one point when he's talking to a mattress and he goes, "See, listen, like I'm way too smart for you. Like just think of a number." And the mattress is like, 5. And he goes, "Wrong. See, I'm smarter." Okay, like what does that mean? But a lot of like the recurring themes or like a recurring bit in the books is the answer to life, the universe, and everything, which I think most people have heard about at this point in time. But it's 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And they build this huge computer to figure this out. And the computer figures it out and tells it to him. But the people are like, 42, what does that mean? And the computer's like, I don't know. Like, you told me to find the answer to the universe. You didn't sit like, if you don't understand it, maybe you should find the question to the answer. So then there's like a whole bit about making a computer to find the question to the answer. But it always comes up in the books in the most unexpected ways. And it's just fun. And it's a good time. It's like never any low points. It's just it's good, dry British humor all the way through.
Yeah, it's always been on my list of books to read, and I just haven't gotten around to it. But I will eventually read that one. You're certainly not the first person to recommend it to me and tell me that it's like one of the funniest books I've ever read. So
yeah, me and Mitch both have tattoos from it, which is "Don't Panic," which is what's printed on the cover of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But yeah. So with that in mind, my question for today is, what's your guys' favorite book? I think we talked about this. Did we talk about this in recording? Or was it just after?
I'm not entirely certain. I'm sure we've talked about it, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it's hard for me to narrow it down, to be honest. I go back and forth between a lot of different books, claiming them as my favorite, depending on the mood I'm in, to be honest. But oftentimes it comes down to two. First of which is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is a book by Philip K. Dick, and it's also the inspiration for the movie Blade Runner. Yeah, okay. And that movie's incredibly good, or that movie's pretty good, but that book is incredibly good. And probably my second favorite book, or I tied with first, depending on my mood, is Slaughterhouse-Five by Kurt Vonnegut. That's a great book as well. Another sci-fi book, but just a mind trip, and also like very humorous, but a little dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I would say pretty dark. A lot of that book is sad. Like, it's sad in a way that isn't like, oh, look, his puppy died. But
yeah, but it's written in a way where he's not dragging you through the sadness, and it's certainly humorous the majority of the time. He's got a very dark humor. Yeah,
I agree.
Jordan?
I need to actually read that book. That's on my list after you recommended it. It's also pretty hard for me to narrow it down. One of my, I guess I kind of have two that stick out. One of them is The 50-Minute Hour by Robert Lidner. And that's an old one. That was written back in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s. And it's a weird book. Basically, as an old psychologist that took some of the stories that he heard from some of his clients and put them in a book. And there's just some weird stuff in there. Very fascinating, though. And then I love true crime, books. Yeah. One of my favorites is Zodiac. I don't know if you guys have ever read that book, but man, it's a ride. It's a great book, and that's also one of my favorite books. Movie is super good as well. But I don't know. Those two probably stick out in my mind a lot. I know obviously there's some that I'm missing, but I'm a big fan of true crime or anything about psychology, really.
Turns out there's a lot of really good books out there. It's hard to narrow it down.
Yeah, I'm sad. I don't read as much as I used to, and it's not that I don't have time. I just don't. and it's
Yeah,
kind of
same.
sad. But I have a book I'm taking up north with me this weekend, and hopefully I get through at least a quarter of it.
Nice.
So fingers crossed.
I'm slowly making my way through the Expanse series right now, and I highly recommend both the books and the show. I think they're both really
I
well
did
done.
those on audio book, and I'm on like book 6, which is crazy. But yeah, man, talk about a series that keeps on giving. That one's great.
Yeah, it does not slow down.
Need to check that out for sure.
I mean, even if you don't want to spend money on the books, just watch the shows on Amazon Prime because they are incredibly similar to the books. I think there's a couple relationships they touch on a little bit more in the show, just to make more drama, because it's a TV show. But I watched the first 4 seasons and then just picked up on the book that was next, and I didn't miss anything. So
Yeah, I wanted to watch the show too. I was thinking about that. Real quick before we disperse this conversation, have you guys ever read the Wheel of Time series?
No,
No.
that one's always seemed incredibly
Epic
daunting
fantasy.
to get into. I've heard really good
It
stuff
is.
about it, but it just goes on forever. So it seems like if you start it, you gotta dedicate your life to finishing it.
It does go on forever, but it's very good. If
how
you
many
like
books
fantasy.
are in it?
I think there's 9 now. I think one came out 2 years ago. I haven't read the newest one, but I read all the other ones back in the day. But great series. I would recommend at least reading the first book. Super good book. So.
Yeah, okay. Is it worth just reading the first book?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
And I mean, Robert Jordan is one of my favorite authors of all time. So.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my book recommendation for this week.
Well, thank you for sharing, Kyle.
Get out there and read, nerds.
And play video games.
Do that too, but that's the reason why I'm not reading. So maybe play less video games and read more.
Just alternate.
Same.
Moderation.
Alternate. That's some good advice.
Well, we know that Kyle is gullible. Are you a gullible person, Andrew, or were you back in your childhood?
I think we all like to claim that we're not gullible and that we're, critical thinkers, skeptics when we need to be. But I don't know. I'm probably more gullible than I think.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Honestly, though, even though you said I'm gullible in the thing, I really am because I will take a good story over the truth any day of the week. And that's to an extent. Like if somebody tells me that 5G towers are causing COVID-19, then I'm obviously not going to believe them. But I'll definitely listen because I'm always down for a good story.
What if I told you that computer ink companies are making salamanders go extinct because it's the easiest way to get red ink for printers is
That
killing salamanders?
sounds totally possible.
If that is true, it's unaware to me.
Well, I mean, they used to make purple dye out of crushed snails, so I have no problem.
Oh, I
believing
know.
that
A lot of
salamanders
colors
make
came
good
from
red ink.
some weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pigment's a
Well-
weird industry.
Other than your pocket falling just now,
Wait,
I do have a topic, and today I would like to share some hilarious things people actually believed as kids.
Okay.
Oh.
Wow.
huh?
I'm
Muse underneath the truck. Just use strength on it.
ready to check all the boxes for the ones I fell for.
I found a list of a bunch of them. I'm only gonna read a select few, but I really think some of these are hilarious, and I know I thought some of this when I was a kid. Obviously, probably the most famous one was, I believe that if I ate a watermelon seed, a watermelon would grow in my stomach.
See, that's the problem, though, because it was on an episode of Rugrats, and everybody knows kids believe everything that's on TV.
True.
Well, I remember seeing that on Rugrats, but I also remember that just being a urban legend that people would talk about at school and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then my parents knew that one from when they were kids too, I think.
Wow. It's funny how that's stuff. But see, the problem is kids just, parents mess with their kids.
Right. They weren't like going to tell me that it wasn't true. They were like, yeah, don't swallow those. Ha ha ha, you idiot.
You idiot.
This next one, I never believed it as a kid, but I do remember my grandparents telling me, like, oh yeah, back in my day, this is how it was. But I believe that people in the past lived in a black and white world because old pictures were only black and white.
I don't think I ever believed that when I was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense why people would believe that, though. Like, there's old televisions in black and white. There's pictures in black and white. The only thing that's like, sorry, that doesn't work is paintings. But I guess the paintings could have been painted in black and white, and then when color was invented, it was just became color. But I don't know.
I don't know. You have to be born in a very specific time
environment
where, like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's not like our eyeballs changed.
Right.
But dude, here's the thing: kids are stupid.
I know.
Yeah.
I can understand why some kids would believe that if they were, but you would almost have to be coached into believing it by, a parent agreeing with you immediately or something. Because,
well, man, you can. Just a quick sidetrack to add to this story. A podcast I listened to, this dad told his daughter that because she didn't want to be potty trained, and he told her that it asked her if she liked bears, and she said yes. He goes, well, bears eat poop, but only out of the toilet. So if you want to feed the bears and don't want them to die, you have to poop in the toilet.
wow.
And it worked. So.
Well, we gotta save those bears, don't we?
Yeah, I gotta save those bears. I do my job at once every day. Feed them bears. I'm sorry.
What are you doing to save the bears, huh? At least I poop.
I don't light forest fires. Is that good enough? No.
You gotta do
All right,
more.
I got a couple more for us.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
This one, I love this one. I think it's hilarious. I believe that school buses ate the little kids that got on them every morning. I always saw them get picked up, but was never there when they got dropped off.
Wow, okay, that's very specific.
That must have been an only child, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lonely child that got drove to school every day, but way after the bus left. Went to a different side of the school to get out than where the bus was letting the kids off. Like,
Maybe it's a homeschool kid.
yeah, homeschool.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that could be it. Yeah.
Did you guys grow up? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I grew up.
go
It's
ahead.
not important.
Yeah, I'm not.
I
I'm
grew
no
up as
longer a
well.
kid.
At least I like to think so.
Did you?
I
grow
mean,
up around any
physically,
homeschool
I'm
kids?
older.
Like,
I've aged, but mentally, I'm not sure.
that's good. Did you guys grow up around any homeschool kids?
I knew some, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They're always just a little bit weird because of like the less social interaction that they
Yeah,
get.
just yeah.
No, I
feel like-
shouldn't say always. That's a pretty big generalization.
I feel like
It's possible.
Yeah, I feel like most of them do end up doing other stuff, like join a sports league or something that gives them social exposure. Because I feel like the few that I knew I met through hockey.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right, I like this one as well. I believe that lightning came from the flash of a huge camera in the sky. So every time I saw lightning, I would smile really big.
I always scared shitless of lightning when I was younger, because lightning meant tornadoes in my head, which it kind of does. But I wish somebody would have told me that. Maybe I wouldn't have been so scared.
When I was real young, I was scared shitless of lightning too because my brothers told me that if it hit the house, it would blow up and we'd all die.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Man, brothers, there's something.
I've always kind of liked thunderstorms because they sounded cool. And we would get like those rolling storms with heat lightning up in the clouds where it'd be like super high and never all that scary. We would sit outside and watch them and listen to them. It'd be fun.
Hell yeah. After I realized that if it hit the house, we wouldn't die, I loved them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until then, I was like, oh shit.
That's understandable. Yeah.
I don't want to die.
Yeah.
No, I would get so panicked that I would worry myself to sleep. I would exhaust myself and pass out.
Yeah, that's not a fun
Jeez.
way to fall asleep.
No.
I was, a couple years ago when I started having panic attacks, I was all surprised. I'm like, man, like, where'd these panic attacks come from? Turns out, had them my whole life. I just thought I was weird.
Yeah.
I think that's how dogs and like animals feel during thunderstorms too.
Yeah.
Because I mean, most dogs hate thunderstorms.
Mm-hmm.
At least I know all of my dogs have. So I don't know. But
So you're saying I'm a dog?
Saying it's a natural
Maybe.
response to the
maybe you're a dog, Kyle.
it's instinct.
You're a dog.
Woof.
But anyways, there's a bunch more of these.
I mean-
I'll send you guys a link.
On the topic
But-
of Kyle being a dog, though, if you were a werewolf or a creature of some kind, like, we would still hang out with you.
Oh,
I
thank
think
you.
he is a werewolf.
Yeah.
But
I
no
mean, like,
shit,
you
we
would
could-
actually just become cooler in our eyes. It wouldn't be anything to,
What if I told you I was a were-rat?
I that would be
I would
sweet.
believe it.
Okay, good.
When I was a kid, I had this Hot Wheels car that was rat. It was basically not a car. It was just a rat with wheels, but it was a Hot Wheels car. That was my favorite car. I was like, this thing's amazing.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Man, we're just like fucking memory lane today, huh?
Yeah. The childhood
Vampires
lies
outside
got to me.
Brandon's. I do have a question to go with these.
Yeah.
What's up?
And it is, when you guys were little or whatever, did you believe anything or did your parents tell you anything that you kind of fell for that obviously isn't real? For example, I'll start with mine. When I was little, I don't know why I'm telling you guys this because it's embarrassing, but whatever. We were driving down the road. I lived in Holt, and we were kind of out in the country a little tiny bit on Onondaga Road, and a bunch of farms out there. And it was right at the beginning of the season. It was just a big old field of dirt. And my dad was like, he turned back to me and he was like, "Hey Jordan, that right there, that's the biggest dirt farm in the USA." And I was like, "Oh, cool! I didn't know that. Wow, that's amazing! Biggest dirt farm." And yeah, I thought that's where dirt came from.
That's funny. That's good. That's a
I
good
was
one.
real young.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, real quick too. He also did this thing. I think a lot of dads probably do this, but every time we went underneath a bridge and it was raining before we got there, he'd be like, "Hey, I bet I can stop. I bet I can make it stop raining for a second." And I'd just be like, "Oh wow, that's amazing."
Magic. One thing that was like going around my school that I believed in was the Bloody Mary thing, where like if you stand in front of the mirror and you say Bloody Mary 3 times, then like she would come out of the mirror and kill you. And I remember one night I was like, you know what? I gotta see if this is true. And I went to the bathroom and I was like, I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and it freaked me the fuck out. I was like, she's real. She's real. She's coming to get me. I remember I ran into my room and like, I just got super scared. I might have started crying. I can't remember how old I was when I tried that. It was definitely in elementary school. And, yeah, nothing happened, obviously. That was it. But I was traumatized by it. And I, like, even though I didn't die, I was like, I think it's real. Yeah.
I feel like it's times like that too, where the cracks in the walls just happen all the time.
Oh, yeah, you hear noises.
yeah.
Like, I swear I heard
Sound.
some... I don't remember exactly what happened. I just remember, like, getting really freaked out and running to my room.
That's a good one. The old Bloody Mary.
I don't have anything anybody like convinced me of. Usually I feel like that kind of thing happens from either like bullies at school or older brothers. But my older brother bullied me by threatening to kill me. And people weren't really mean to me at school, which is pretty cool. But I did have a hard time discerning dreams from reality when I was young. So I would often... There was one dream I really remember as a kid where I almost got eaten by a spider that like grew in size and tried to bite my head off. But I remember like getting my mom and telling her to like get the spiders off me and get me out of here and stuff like that. So yeah, not necessarily gullible, but just a scared little kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's traumatizing.
Yeah, me and spiders are cool now though.
Spiders are good.
Well, it happens to kids, happens to adults.
Yeah. I mean, I
weird.
feel like I wasn't as gullible as I could have been, because I do remember, like, in elementary school befriending this kid on the playground that I hadn't really talked to before, and we were, like, on the swings, and then he just was like, yeah, so I see ghosts, and I was like, oh, you do? And I remember just not believing him at all, but I, like, was intrigued, so he told me some ghost stories, and they were pretty freaky, but I didn't believe them, but, yeah. Then he became my friend that knows ghosts. So that was interesting.
And now he's haunting you.
He might be. I mean, I feel like he's still alive, probably. But,
Probably.
I mean, it doesn't mean he can't haunt me, I guess.
Well, as we established before, only one ghost can haunt at a time.
Yeah, but I don't know if that limit applies to people that are alive. I feel like anyone that's alive could haunt whoever they want, really.
True,
I mean, not
point.
legally. I'm sure haunting
Yeah,
crosses some.
stalking.
Yeah, that crosses some legal boundary, I'm sure.
I remember a few, I don't know, this is probably like 10 years ago now. I feel like I'm old, but my uncle they were about to paint their house and told my aunt, hey, run up to the hardware and see if they have any 1/4-inch thick paint. And she went up there and was asking all the employees, like, hey, do you guys have any 1/4-inch thick paint? And
That's
stuff
great.
like that is just hilarious to me.
That's great.
Funny.
God.
But yeah,
I know
that's
people
my
have screwed
topic.
with me like that before, and I've fallen for it. I just can't think of any examples.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's happened to all of us. Probably.
Yeah.
At least once.
I mean, I have this cousin that got constipated once, and from the bathroom, I mean, she was really young, like 4 or 5 tops, age-wise. And from the bathroom, all we heard was her yelling, "It's coming out sideways," which was hilarious. That's what she thought was happening.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. I won't say any names. Not going to put anybody on blast, but, you know.
I
It was
had
funny.
a cousin who they told, real quick, we're going on forever here, but real quick, they told her, it was the beginning of winter, and they were like, oh, you better go get some winter air in your tires, or else you're going to have a hard time driving through the snow.
That's a good
And
one.
she believed it. She tried finding winter air for a while until they told her it's not a real thing.
Back when I worked at a different store, me and my general manager were screwing with a kid, and we told him to go get up on top of the walk-in freezer and grab the decaffeinator.
You told me about that.
Yeah. And they kept they'd go up there like, is this it? No, keep looking. It sort of looks like that. Just keep grabbing stuff.
Eventually, it was all cleaned up there. But yeah, that was my topic. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, man. That was fun.
Would you all shut up? Jesus Christ. What is wrong with you?
All right. Today, I would like to share with you guys a game I like to call High Stakes Hollywood.
Okay.
Ooh.
In this game, I'll give you the production cost of one film, and you'll have to tell me if the next film costs more or less than the first.
Okay.
Kyle and Jordan, you guys are going to go back and forth providing answers. The first to accumulate 3 correct answers will win the game. If we feel like that was way too easy, I will up that because this got to be at least a little challenging. And also, if no one ends up getting 3 answers, we'll just play until our hard drives are full. All right.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I got 89 hours left in me.
I just cleared this one out.
Speaking of that, I just ordered an external. But anyway.
All right. We do need to...
Actually,
Oh, go ahead.
I might just have just the tiny slightest advantage here because I was just looking up movie budgets and the top 10 most expensive movies to make just the other day.
Wow.
So again, slight advantage. I don't know
He's
the
been-
ones you picked.
He's been researching.
but
Wall
we
hacks.
just call that foresight.
Oh, that's wall hacks.
All right. Well, we
Well,
do
yeah,
need
exactly.
to determine who will go first. So, have
these are
any of
always
you guys done any pre-research and cheated for this game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Kyle has. All right. So, Jordan, you're going to go first.
Hey.
All right, Jordan. This movie, Rocky, from 1976 cost $4,955,409 to make? Did Men in Black 3 from 2012 cost more or less? And this is with inflation.
So Rocky, 4 million. Men in Black 3. What year did Men in Black 3 come out again?
2012.
I feel like that was a shitty one, wasn't it? No, I think
It was
that
okay.
I think that one was okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta think about it. That's a lot of CGI. I'm gonna say Rocky costs more with inflation.
So Men in Black cost less, is what you're saying?
Yes.
You're wrong. Men in Black cost over $200 million to make.
Damn it! I knew I was trying. I thought it was too obvious, but should have went with my gut. Oh well.
All right, Kyle.
What's up?
This one, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies from 2014, cost $231 million to make. Did The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug from 2013 cost more or less than that?
Okay, so CGI is really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And Desolation of Smaug had a really big, like everything with Smaug and everything the dwarves did when they were underground or in the actual city was pretty extensive. So I'm going to go with Desolation of Smaug cost more.
You are right. That was $242,000. And because you got one right, finally, we're going to keep it on the board. So, Jordan, this goes to you. Desolation of Smaug was $242 million. Was Sex in the City from 2008? Did it cost more or less than that?
Less.
Less?
Yes.
All right, you're
It's
right.
gotta be less.
You're right. It
I was
costs.
about to say, if I get that wrong, I quit.
You're right. It got 79 million for that one. Sex in the City. 79 million.
Thanks
All right.
for tossing me the
You
bone.
both have one correct answer so far. Good job. Kyle, we're coming back to you. Sex in the City's
right.
on the board. It cost $79 million to make Sex in the City.
Mm-hmm.
But did Bloodshot from 2020, starring Vin Diesel, cost more or less?
What?
Oh, this was recent, right?
Yep.
Oh man.
This is from 2020.
Is that number that you gave for Sex in the City? Is that the adjusted number for inflation, or is that the pre?
With inflation. So
Okay.
yeah.
It's a Vin Diesel movie, so that it has to have a budget. People love throwing money at the dude. I'm gonna go more. Vin Diesel movie is more.
And you were wrong. That was
darn.
$45 million.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
That was
I feel like
they did
he
a pretty
kinda
good job.
fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. New movie on the board for Jordan. You guys are both still at one correct. So new movie is The King's Speech from 2010. It cost $17 million to make this movie. Almost 18. 17.8. Did Rogue One, a Star Wars story, cost more or less?
Way more. It had to have been way more.
You're right. It cost $237 million to make Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
I was about to say.
All right, Jordan has two correct answers. Kyle, we're coming to you with Rogue One,
All
a
right.
Star Wars story. It cost $237 million to make this movie. Did Fight Club from 1999 cost more?
Oh no, it didn't.
And you're right. Fight Club cost
way.
$94 million to make. So Kyle, that gives you two correct answers as well, and the game is tied now. Score's
The
even.
hard drive's getting full. We better hurry.
Jordan, we're coming back to you with Fight Club. $94 million this movie costs. Did Spider-Man 3 from 2007 cost more or less?
Trying to remember which one that was.
That was the one with the Venom suit.
Yep.
That's Raimi, right?
Yep. And it's the one with the black suit dance-off.
That was exactly the scene I was thinking of.
More.
Emo Tobey
Are
Maguire.
you saying more?
Yeah.
All right. And you're right. All right. Do you guys remember how much Rogue One cost?
Yeah.
212 million.
Spider-Man,
No, 234.
37.
Spider-Man 3 from 2007 cost $321 million to make. All right.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, that's the price you're
What's
working
up?
with. $321 million for Spider-Man 3 in 2007. Did Captain America Civil War in 2016 cost more or less?
Oh shit. Captain America Civil War?
Yep.
You said it was more. Pretty sure.
And you're wrong. It was
Oh, darn.
$248 million.
Man, with how much cast they had, you'd think they'd be paying that alone.
Yeah. All right. Score is still tied 2-2. Basically, next correct.
No, Jordan wins.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jordan just
I
won? Oh, did he get Spider-Man
Yeah.
right? That's right. Yeah,
he got
Jordan
Spider-Man
won.
right.
Yep, Kyle couldn't steal. All right. Nice job, Jordan.
Yeah.
You know your movie budgets.
me
Kyle
know.
even cheated and did research.
I didn't cheat. I didn't do research. I just looked at the top 10 costing movies.
And you didn't hack my brain to find out
And-
what my topic
and
was?
three of them are Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Does that certify
So,
me as a
suck on
Hollywood
that.
accountant?
All right. One bonus
The
one?
most
Anybody want to
expensive
do
movie
one
to-
bonus one where you both can
Oh, yeah.
shout out the
Okay.
answer? All right, here it
Sounds
is.
good.
Highest is Endgame. No, I'm just-
No, it's not.
What's-
highest is seriously on Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides.
Oh, really? How much did
Endgame
it
And I'm
cost?
pretty sure that's
400
not
million.
adjusted for inflation.
Oh, how much? Do you remember?
It's 410 million
Oh,
or high
okay.
300 millions. I can't
After
remember.
inflation?
Dang.
Gotcha.
See, I think those movies do, like Pirates, I think those movies did insane in China, so they could spend whatever they wanted
Yeah.
on it, basically.
Yeah.
Kind of like Marvel movies. Marvel movies, they can spend whatever they want on them because they sell so well globally.
Yeah.
Same with Spider-Man, apparently.
All right, last question, bonus one, shout it out. It's for no points. The Shawshank Redemption in 1994 cost $40 million. Did Quantum of Solace from 2008 cost more or less?
More.
Probably more.
Yep, more. 244 million. Nice work, guys. You both win now.
You know what's weird about that, though? Shawshank Redemption is considered the greatest movie of all time. And Quantum of Solace is
Not
Trash.
trash.
Dude, there's so much shaky cam in that movie, it makes you want to throw up.
Yeah, that it was
Luckily,
hard
that's
to
the
watch.
only one. That's the only one they really fucked up. Which
Yeah.
it was still okay, but
The
compared
second
to
half of the
was
movie
trash.
doesn't use shaky cam as much, but like the whole first half is just a chase
Gives
sitting on
you
a roof
motion
where
sickness.
it's all handy cammed for some reason.
Yeah.
Did you guys like Shawshank, though?
Shawshank's
Never watched it.
Shawshank's a good movie.
Oh, man. It's amazing.
That's the one with Morgan Freeman in jail, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it, but I've never seen the whole thing.
Yeah. I don't have a movie-based question for you guys this week. It was just the game.
That's
I asked you a lot of questions during the game, so I figured
good
you
point.
were sick of it.
That was a good game.
Movie budgets are fun. It seems like all I want to I want to say AAA studios, but that's a thing we say in video games. But like A-list movies are all like 200,000 or 200 million
Yeah.
plus nowadays. Like that's where they average out.
Yeah, the big...
I have a trivia question for you guys.
Oh.
Hit me.
What is the most successful movie with the lowest budget? Like, comparatively. So, they had a super low budget, but they sold a shit ton.
Clerks.
That's second. Or
Ah,
no, that's
I wanna
third.
say-
Third, I think.
dang.
I want to say Get Out, that recent horror movie.
I don't know where that
think
is.
that's what it
That
was
is pretty recent, but it's Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah.
Ah,
I can
okay.
see
Blair Witch Project killed it, and it only cost them like $37,000 to make.
That's insane. Yeah, I know Clerks was
Yeah.
a super low budget too, and ended up doing really well.
Yep. Both of them. The second one was pretty low too.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for sharing. That
Yeah,
was a good
of course.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, it was fun. Well, that about wraps it up. Join us again next time where we do it all again. And remember, as Snoop Dogg says, it ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening, and keep an eye out for another episode of Today I Would Like to Share.
Yeah, and make sure you look us up on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast app of your choice.
Once you find us and give us a listen, please leave us an honest review of what you think of the show. You can do so at Apple Podcasts.
And YouTube.
Or send us an email at contact@blamoindustries.com. That's contact@blamoindustries.com.